Welcome to today's news. You are watching Millennium News Hour and I am Tanziba Noreen. Here are the latest trending news stories from across the globe. Let's dive into today's top headlines. Biden designates monument to honor Native American boarding school victims. Trump launches fragrance line with photo featuring Jill Biden. Lara Trump steps down from RNC, eyes Florida Senate seat. Police arrest suspect in United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson's murder. Daniel Penny found not guilty in NYC subway chokehold case. TikTok warns US ban could cost $1.3 billion in first month. Mayor Adams launched program to tackle high crime blocks in NYC. Governor Hochul proposes inflation refund for 8.6 million New Yorkers. Passenger attempts to hijack Mexican flight. South Korean president faces travel ban amid coup allegations. Messi left out as Bellingham shines in FIFPro World 11. And Syrian Football Federation changes kit color as Assad toppled. You were listening to Headlines Now News in detail. President Joe Biden designated the Carlisle Federal Indian Boarding School National Monument in Pennsylvania to honor Native American children affected by the federal boarding school system. The announcement came during the final White House Tribal Nation Summit of his administration. The Carlisle School, founded in 1879, was the first federal off-reservation boarding school for Native children. It operated for nearly 40 years and served as a model for over 400 similar schools. These institutions aimed to assimilate Native children by stripping them of their languages, religions, and cultures. The federal government often separated children from their families by force or coercion, subjecting them to abuse, inadequate care, and forced labor. Many children never returned home, and nearly 1,000 deaths were recorded. Though the actual toll is believed to be higher. The monument will be located on 24.5 acres of the Carlisle Barracks, managed by the National Park Service and the U.S. Army. Interior Secretary Deb Haaland, a descendant of boarding school survivors, supported the effort. This designation follows Biden's formal apology for the boarding school system in October and reflects ongoing efforts to acknowledge this painful history. Donald Trump recently announced a new fragrance line using a photo of himself with First Lady Jill Biden. The announcement was made on his Truth Social app, where he captioned the image of fragrance your enemies can't resist. The line, named Fight, 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 offers cologne for men and perfume for women, each priced at $199. Special bundles allow buyers to get the second fragrance at 50% off. The products are available on gettrumpfragrances.com. The photo Trump used was taken on December 7 during the reopening of Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. The event marked the restoration of the landmark 5 years after a devastating fire. The image shows Trump and Jill Biden seated with an empty chair between them reserved for Brigitte Macron, wife of French President Emmanuel Macron. The fragrances are described as capturing success and determination but do not specify the scents. Trump called them great Christmas gifts and claimed they symbolize winning. Sales from the fragrances are not linked to Trump's campaign, and the products are managed by CIC Ventures, which also oversees Trump-branded sneakers. All sales are final and non-refundable. Lara Trump recently stepped down as co-chair of the Republican National Committee, a position she held since March. She announced her resignation on X, stating that her goals at the RNC were accomplished. She highlighted successes like strong fundraising, election integrity efforts, and voter turnout. There is growing speculation that Lara Trump may replace Florida Senator Marco Rubio, who is expected to become the Secretary of State under President-elect Donald Trump. In an interview with the Associated Press, she said she would seriously consider the Senate role if it becomes an option. I would 100% consider it, but I want to gather all the information first, she explained. Elon Musk, a close ally of the president-elect, and his mother, May Musk, are among those supporting Lara Trump for the Senate position. However, the decision will ultimately be made by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. DeSantis has said he plans to finalize the replacement by early January. The selection process will include candidate vetting and interviews. For now, Lara Trump's next steps remain uncertain, but she is open to exploring new opportunities in politics. Police have arrested Luigi Mangione in Pennsylvania as a person of interest in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York City. Thompson was fatally shot outside the Hilton Midtown Hotel on December 4 in what NYPD described as a targeted attack. Mangione was recognized at a McDonald's in Altoona by an employee who had seen his photo. He was arrested for carrying an illegal gun, which NYPD believes may be a 3D printed ghost gun. Officers also found fake IDs, a U.S. passport, and a document linked to his possible motive. NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch called the attack premeditated and planned. Surveillance footage showed the gunman shooting Thompson multiple times with a pistol equipped with a silencer before fleeing. Investigators tracked Mangione's movements using evidence, including a fake New Jersey ID used to check into a Manhattan hostel. The gun and suppressor he carried matched the weapon description from the crime scene. Police are continuing their investigation and will question Mangione further. Rewards from NYPD and the FBI totaling $60,000 were offered for information. Authorities are determined to connect Mangione to the crime and bring justice. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your fist. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Daniel Penny was found not guilty of criminally negligent homicide in the 2023 subway death of Jordan Neely. The 26-year-old Marine veteran had faced charges of second-degree manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide. The manslaughter charge was dismissed after jurors couldn't reach a unanimous decision. Deliberations lasted over 20 hours before the jury cleared Payne of all charges. The courtroom erupted in mixed reactions, with Neely's father leaving in anger. The incident occurred in May 2023 when Neely, 30 years old, boarded a subway train and began shouting and making threats. Payne restrained Neely in a chokehold until he lost consciousness. Neely, a homeless man with a history of mental illness, was pronounced dead at the scene. Prosecutors argued Payne used excessive force, while his defense claimed he was protecting passengers. Jurors reviewed videos, medical reports, and testimonies during the trial. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg stated that the jury's decision followed a thorough review of evidence. Neely's death sparked protests and calls for improved mental health care in New York City. With the verdict delivered, Payne now moves forward, but the case has reignited debates on public safety and mental health. TikTok warned that a ban in the United States would lead to a loss of $1.3 billion for small businesses and creators in just 1 month. The app's president, Blake Chandler, said the financial impact would only grow if the shutdown lasted longer. TikTok has filed a court appeal to block a new law that would force Apple, Google, and internet providers to stop supporting the app unless ByteDance, its parent company, sells it. The U.S. Court of Appeals recently upheld the law, but TikTok and ByteDance will now ask the Supreme Court to review the decision. Chandler explained that nearly 2 million American creators would lose $300 million in earnings, and TikTok itself could lose 29% of its global advertising revenue for 2025. He added that TikTok business has contributed $24.2 billion to the U.S. GDP in 2023, with TikTok operations adding another $8.5 billion. The ban was passed due to concerns about ByteDance's alleged ties to China. The Apple's court rejected TikTok's claim that the ban violated users' First Amendment rights, emphasizing national security concerns. New York City Mayor Eric Adams introduced Every Block Counts, a pilot program launched in October 2024 to reduce crime and improve living conditions in high-crime areas. The program targets specific blocks in the Bronx's 46th Precinct and Brooklyn's 73rd Precinct areas with historically high shooting incidents. Multiple city agencies, including the NYPD and the Sanitation Department, are collaborating to address issues like street repairs, graffiti removal, and safety improvements. The initiative has already reduced shootings and major crimes by over 50% in these areas. Residents from targeted blocks have identified 146 issues and 111 have been resolved so far. Each block has a designated block CEO to act as a liaison between the community and officials. Mayor Adams emphasized that the program will continue expanding based on its success. Officials plan to analyze its effectiveness through NYPD's CompStat system to ensure lasting results and safer communities. Governor Kathy Hochul announced a proposal to give inflation refund checks to 8.6 million New Yorkers in 2025 as part of her State of the State plan. The refund would deliver $300 to single taxpayers earning up to $150,000 and $500 to joint filers earning up to $300,000. This initiative, aimed at helping middle-class families, is funded by New York's higher-than-average sales tax revenues caused by inflation. The payments will go to eligible taxpayers who recently filed returns, regardless of their home ownership or parental status. Hochul emphasized that the rising cost of living is still a major concern. She promised to focus her agenda on providing financial relief to hard-working residents. If approved, this would be New York's first inflation refund, distributing around $3 billion in direct payments. More details about this proposal and others will be revealed in Hochul's upcoming State of the State address. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for global updates. Mexican authorities detained a man after he tried to divert a domestic flight to the United States. The incident happened on a Volaris flight 3041 traveling from Guanajuato to Tijuana. The man, a 31-year-old Mexican national, assaulted a flight attendant and attempted to enter the cockpit. Crew members subdued him and the pilot issued an alert, landing the plane at Guadalajara International Airport. Authorities took the man into custody upon landing. The man told airline staff that a close relative had been kidnapped and he received threats that he would be killed if he continued to Tijuana. He was traveling with his wife and 2 children at the time. In a statement, Volaris confirmed that its crew followed safety protocols, ensuring all passengers and staff remained unharmed. After the man was detained, the flight safely resumed its journey to Tijuana. The Federal Public Ministry and Attorney General's office will handle the case. Mexican authorities have not disclosed further details but are continuing their investigation into the incident. Future updates may clarify the man's motivations and any potential risks tied to his actions. South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol has been banned from leaving the country after being accused of attempting a second coup. Last week, Yoon declared martial law, but it was overturned within 6 hours following intense clashes in parliament. Baek Sang-up, an official from the Justice Ministry, confirmed that Yoon is under a travel ban. Opposition parties have accused Yoon's People Power Party of obstructing an impeachment vote, calling it unconstitutional. Yoon apologized on Saturday for his failed martial law declaration, describing it as a desperate move. He pledged to face any consequences and promised not to repeat such an act. Meanwhile, prosecutors have formally opened a criminal investigation into Yoon's actions, which could lead to severe penalties, including life imprisonment or death. The opposition has filed charges against Yoon and key officials, accusing them of insurrection. Political uncertainty has gripped South Korea, with PPP leaders claiming Yoon can delegate powers to the prime ministers. Critics argue this violates the constitution. Amid rising tensions, military leaders assured the public they would oppose any further martial law attempts. Experts warned the turmoil could weaken regional stability, particularly with North Korea closely observing the situation. Let's have a look on today's sports stories. Lionel Messi was excluded from the FIFA Pro World 11 for the first time in almost 20 years as the 2024 team was announced. 6 players from Champions League winners Real Madrid and 4 from Manchester City dominated the men's lineup. Messi, who holds the record with 17 selections, was replaced by Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, and Vinicius Jr. Jude Bellingham led the voting, with Real Madrid and England still receiving 11,176 peer selections. Liverpool's Virgil van Dijk was the only player outside the Real and City to make the men's team. In the women's World 11, 5 English players were included: Lucy Bronze, Mary Earps, Alex Greenwood, Lauren James, and Keira Walsh. Bronze tied the record for most selections in the women's category with 7. Zambia's Barbara Banda made history as the first African player to join the Women's World 11. Syrian rebels took control of Damascus, ending President Bashar al-Assad's 13-year rule after a civil war that spanned over a decade. Assad fled to Russia as the rebels seized the capital without resistance, marking the fall of his family's six-decade autocratic control. In response to the historic change, Syria's Soccer Federation announced a redesign of the national team's kit and logo, changing the color from red to green. The new uniform reflects the transition from the old regime. The federation shared the news on Facebook, posting an image of players wearing the green uniform and calling it the first historic change in Syrian sports, far from nepotism, favoritism, and corruption. This shift symbolizes a new chapter for the country, with the sport seen as a unifying factor during turbulent times. The new green kits are expected to debut in Syria's upcoming international matches. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 20,107.79. The NYSE Composite is decreased by 49.65 points or 0.25%. Tokyo stock close price is 39,091.17. The Nikkei 225 index is decreased by 304.43 points or 0.77%. Shanghai stock close price is 3,404.08. The Shanghai index is increased by 35.22 points or 1.05%. Hong Kong stock close price is 19,865.85. The Hang Seng index is increased by 305.41 points or 1.56%. Bombay stock close price is 81,709.12. The Sensex index is decreased by 56.74 points or 0.07%. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. Biden designates monument to honor Native American boarding school victims. Trump launches fragrance line with photo featuring Jill Biden. Lara Trump steps down from RNC, eyes Florida Senate seat. Police arrest suspect in United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson's murder. Daniel Penny found not guilty in NYC subway chokehold case. TikTok warns US ban could cost $1.3 billion in first month. Mayor Adams launched program to tackle high crime blocks in NYC. Governor Hochul proposes inflation refund for 8.6 million New Yorkers. Passenger attempts to hijack Mexican flight. South Korean president faces travel ban amid coup allegations. Messi left out as Bellingham shines in FIFPro World 11. And Syrian Football Federation changes kit color as Assad toppled. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel and visit our websites. Our website addresses are www.millenniumnews24.com and www.millenniumtv24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all at TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.